Hello everyone, I want to give you guys a 10-day review on this 2024 Toyota Tacoma. Okay, so this has a hybrid engine, the iForce Max. Okay, so first let me give you guys some background as to why I have this loaner. All right, so I have a 2022 Tacoma, and ever since I bought it in 2022, I've been telling Toyota that, hey, this truck has a drift problem. Like basically, it keeps pulling to the right when I'm driving at highway speeds. And they kept telling me, oh, it just needs another wheel alignment. It needs another wheel alignment. And they're telling me, like, oh, every time you hit a pothole, it can use another wheel alignment. So like 4 wheel alignments later, I'm telling them there's something wrong with this thing. And they finally figured out that it had some type of an oil leak in the steering column. Okay, so it took them, like, what, 2 years to figure that out. Okay, so needless to say, I'm not too happy about that. Wasted a whole bunch of time sitting in shops waiting for wheel alignments. So anyway, I'm going to try and get some payback for that from Toyota. But in the meantime, they lent me this. Now, let me also say this, that prior to my 2022 Tacoma, I had a 2012 Tacoma, which I absolutely loved, man. The thing was great. I think I went like 175,000 miles before it needed any work on it. Okay. So that's, and it went all the way up to, I think, like 230,000 miles. And then it got to the point where it was going to need some, like, a $5,000 job. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to put that much money into a truck that's got 230,000 miles on it. So that's when I bought the 2022. So the point is, I've been driving Toyota trucks since 2012, and I loved my 2012. So it's not like I'm coming at this as a Toyota hater. I want Toyota to build good trucks. Okay. So I'm not entirely happy with my 2022. Main problem, it's, first of all, bad value, right? It was really expensive. I think it, like, with the taxes and the shipping and all the bullshit, and plus you gotta get the extended warranties on these things because they have so much, like, electronics and stuff, that if anything breaks, like, it'll cost you so much money. So you end up getting the extended warranty. So that thing ended up costing like upwards of $45,000, right? Versus my 2012, which cost like $21,000. Okay, basically I just wrote them a check for that truck. Right? I didn't even have to finance or anything. That was a good value, right? That 2012 Tacoma. Now that was basically a single cab. I think the 4-door version would have cost something closer to $25,000 to $27,000. Okay, which, fine, I can live with that, right? So here's the thing: when it comes to trucks, all right, I want 3 things. Okay, number 1, I want reliability. It's gotta be reliable. Now the problem with these Tacomas, right, is that they changed so much so fast from year to year that there's no possible way that they can guarantee reliability. So my 2012, right, they had been using that same engine for many years, right, and many different different year models, and they had just done like minor changes, minor upgrades, so that you could say that it would be reliable because they had been using the same the same mechanical equipment for a long time, right? The same engine, same powertrain, etc. So by the time you get around to 2022, they've done some major changes, right? And now with this 2024, they've like completely, like, I mean, it's not, I mean, you can barely even call it a Toyota because it's so different from the prior year. Okay, so here's the thing: they cannot guarantee you reliability because it just hasn't been around for that long. This hybrid Toyota Tacoma hasn't been around that long, so no way they can promise you reliability. Now, the issue that you're going to also have is when you bring this into the shop, because it's a hybrid engine, the local, like, mechanics, they're not going to know what to do with it. And, so you got to go back to the dealer. And even when you go back to the dealer, okay, the mechanics at the dealer shop, they haven't been working on these types of engines, these hybrid engines, specifically this one, this iForce Max, for very long. So they don't they're not going to know exactly what to do with it, so you're going to have a serious reliability problem. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, value. Okay, I want value in the truck. This is not value. Okay, this is I think I looked at it, was something pretty close to $60,000, like $60,000 what you used to pay for like a Lexus or a Mercedes. Okay, so it's close to $60,000, and on top of that, again, you got to get the extended warranty, right? Because I mean, this thing has a battery in there. That's probably going to cost someone like $15,000 or something if the battery goes bad, right? I don't mean the battery to start up the engine. I'm talking like this other battery that's in there to to run the hybrid part of this engine. So you've got really expensive stuff in there that's almost experimental. So you have to get like the extended warranty. So by the time you're done, this thing's going to be like closer to, and plus if you're financing it with the interest and stuff, you're going to be closer to $70,000 for this truck. So there's absolutely no value, okay? Now, the other thing, right, so I want reliability. They can't promise me that just because it's something new and experimental. They're not giving me value, right? This is an expensive truck. It's not like my 2012, which I got, which is somewhere between $21,000 that I paid for, going up to maybe 25 or 26, maybe 27 if you're getting the 4-door version. Okay, so you're not getting value out of this. And finally, let's talk about performance, right? It's a pickup truck, so I want to be able to tow, right, and put heavy stuff in the back. Okay, so for all that extra money, they have not increased the towing ability, and they haven't really increased the payload. Okay, so you're paying a whole bunch of money, right, and you can't even really pull out, like, because I have like a 10,000 pound trailer. I can't even max out my trailer, right? I'm stuck at like 6,500 pounds. So what am I paying if I were to buy this? Because again, there's a loaner, haven't paid it. But if I was to buy this, right, and I was to give them, let's say, that $60,000 to $70,000, right, versus, I don't know, a few years back when you were just paying like maybe $30,000 for something like this, for that extra $30,000, $35,000, what am I getting, right? Am I getting extra tow capacity? Am I getting extra payload in the back? No, I'm not getting any of that. What am I getting for that extra $30,000 or $35,000? I'm getting a hybrid engine. Okay, and you might say, okay, fine, you're getting a hybrid engine. How, are you going to get like 100 miles per gallon or something? No, I've actually done quite a bit of driving with this. The fuel mileage is actually worse than my 2022. It's closer to, on the highway, it's 20 miles per gallon. Okay, I think the best I saw it was maybe go up to like 24 miles a gallon. So you're in between 20 to 24 miles per gallon. Okay, my 2022 does better than that. Okay, so you're not getting better fuel economy for this hybrid engine that you're getting. So who's benefiting from the extra $35,000 that you're paying for this thing? I mean, is Obama benefiting from this? I don't know, because I wouldn't be benefiting from it if I were to buy it. Okay, so those are my initial impressions. I want, for the things that I want from a truck, right? I want reliability. They can't promise me that. I want value. They're not giving it to me if I'm paying like $60,000 to $70,000 for this, all right? And I want performance, which again, they're not giving it to me because they haven't increased the tow capacity and haven't increased the payload by much. Okay, so now that I'm done, I kind of wanted to lay that out there. Okay, let's take a walk around this. Now, one of the nice things that they do have, I think those are fog lights over here. That's good, because that's one of the things that I think is kind of necessary for a truck, especially in this area where I'm at. Sometimes it gets foggy. Oh, by the way, it's about like 12 degrees today. Okay, and you can see it's obviously the snow on the ground, so it's pretty cold out here. So it's good that they put the fog lights on there. I always felt that should be standard on trucks. Okay, so let's walk around. Obviously you're gonna have lights. Tires. Oh, this is one of the things I want to talk to you guys about. Now, this truck has 2,500 miles on it, right? 2,500 miles. One of the things, and I've noticed this also with my 2012, the tread that they give you is horrible. Like what I mean in terms of depth. Okay, this tread looks like it's ready for the tires to be changed. Okay, and I noticed it on my 2022 as well. versus like when I replaced the tires. Okay, you get the tread that I got was almost like twice as deep. Okay, so the tires that they give you on these on this new truck, if you're lucky, you'll get like a year and a half out of it before you gotta change the tires. Okay, so like I mean they suck. I mean it's like why couldn't they give tires that have a much deeper tread that's going to last longer? Okay, so that's one of the things that stood out like right away, because I know, because I always have found it annoying with these Toyotas. Again, this is like I'm already into two. It's like a year and a half, and you got to change tires, and tires aren't cheap. I used to be able to get 4 new tires for like $600. Now there are 4 new tires on a truck like this. They're all going to be upwards of $1,000, $1,100. So they give you shitty tires, right, that aren't going to last long. Okay, now let's talk about the running boards here, okay, because my 2024 also came with running boards. When I went to buy it, it was like the only truck they had on the lot, so I kind of had to buy it because I needed a truck, right, because I didn't want to pay $5,000 for the repair job that my 2012 needed. So the running boards are absolutely worthless. Okay, on my 2022, I've done a review on that one. That one's got like these chrome ones. Absolutely worthless, because first of all, it's not gonna like really help you get into the truck. Let me open it. It's not gonna help you like get into the truck, right? It's not gonna be useful. Like I mean, what does it do for you? It doesn't do shit. Okay, it's just I mean, I don't know. I see no value in that. The only thing that this has kind of become useful is like my son and sometimes he likes to ride on the running boards. So he'll have me like open up the windows here. He's like 9 years old, and he'll hold on to the B pillar over here, and he'll ride on the running boards. You know, when I'm on the in an open field or something, you know. Obviously on private property, not on the highway. But yeah, my son likes to ride on the running boards. Okay, but other than that, the running boards are absolutely useless. What they should have done, instead of putting running boards here, they should have put something across the top here, right? So like you could put a ladder or something up here and not like beat up this material, because like on my 2012 I had crushed the like I kind of dented in the cab over here by putting a ladder up there. Okay, so like they've got this thing over here. It looks like it's like kind of intended so that you could put something up there, but I don't think it's gonna hold. Like this really isn't like that's gonna get all beat up and scratched, and you got like a light there. So they should have put like a frame here so that you could put like a ladder or something on the back. Okay, so that would have been useful. Putting running boards over here, guys, don't get that waste of money. Okay, now let's talk about suspension. In the back, they got coil springs. My 2022, my 2012 both had leaf springs, which I like. They put the coil springs here. I mean, I don't think they've increased the payload capacity by a whole lot. I mean, what good does it do? Like, I'm buying a truck, okay? I don't care if it, because the leaf springs, they creak a little bit. I mean, the coil springs, I mean, how much did that increase the expense by? I think that it was like not a good place to to upgrade, to spend extra money. I think the leaf springs work fine. If anything, they should, because normally like my 2012 has like 2 leaf springs. They should have put like 3 maybe or 4 to increase the payload in the back. That would have actually been useful. Another thing they have done is they've got discs, because both my 2012 and my 2022 have drums in the back, discs in the front. I kind of always liked that setup because the drums kind of last a really, really long time. So I only needed to worry about changing the brake pads in the front. Never needed to really worry about changing doing any brake work in the back. So I didn't mind the drums. I thought they worked fine. So again, like when I look at my 2022, I don't say, hey, oh damn man, I wish this thing had discs instead of drums. I couldn't care less. Okay. Now, one of the things that they did remove, which was kind of useful, is on my 2022, the exhaust is actually on the right side, and on the left side, what I do is I have like a little foot stand so I can kind of climb into the back of the truck, right? So on this side over here, you kind of kick this down, and then there's basically a little step on this side. Obviously, they'd have to put it to the other side over here because the exhaust on that side. So they put a little step here to help you climb into the back of the truck. You know, that was actually useful. I mean, I can't imagine that would have cost Toyota more than $100, right? So, but that's actually something useful. Like I use that to climb into the back of the truck, and you know, I mean that's something that's useful. Okay, so it comes already set up to accept the trailer in the back, which yeah, I would kind of expect. Okay, it's got the backup camera. That's kind of useful, especially if you're backing up to a trailer. It's got the lights in the back. Right, so that's good. I mean, both my 2022 also has that, so that's good. They do have this rubber mat here, as you know, so whatever. I mean, that's not something that I really care too much. I mean, one way or the other. The drawers, my 2022 is hydraulic going down, but then you gotta do like a bicep curl to get it up. This one is easy both ways. All right, that's fine. That couldn't have been that much more expensive. Maybe $100 extra that they put into that. Oh, one of the things that's completely unnecessary is the mud flaps. My 2012 had mud flaps, and what would happen is when I would back up into the snow, right, the mud flaps would get ripped off, right? So snow would go here, it would push the mud flaps up against the tire, and the mud flaps would get ripped off, and the truck, you know, looked like shit after that. So that the mud flaps are completely unnecessary. I think it's stupid that they put it on a 2024. Okay. What else? It looks like they got some nice rims on this. Okay. I mean, not that I give a shit about rims. I mean, that's not one of the things I care about too much. Let me pop the hood for a second. Hold on. I'm gonna pause the camera. All right. So there's the engine. Okay. So I don't know where the. I mean, I guess obviously that's the engine, but I don't know what the hell that is over there. I don't know. I guess this thing doesn't even have a battery. Like the battery, let me tell you guys where the battery is. The battery is under the seat over here. And it's a gigantic battery that goes like all the way across. So and this is something that's actually I would find extremely annoying. In order to put a battery under here, and it's like I said, it's gigantic, goes all the way across. What they did is, like on my 2024, that's a storage compartment there, okay? So the seats flip up, this folds down, and I put my tools there, okay? So they took away the storage compartment, which was actually useful, and they put this gigantic, stupid, expensive battery there, okay? So that pisses me off, okay? So one of the things, because my 2012 had a 6-foot bed, so my 2022 has a 5-foot, and this one has a 5-foot too. So I was, you know, so it's like shit. I lost a foot of space in the back of the truck, right? Because a pickup truck, I need space to put shit. Okay, but it didn't bother me that much because even though I lost a foot in the back, I kind of gained the space over here because I could fold down the seats and I could store stuff here. Now these seats do pull forward. Pull this up the tab, but you don't get a whole lot of storage space back here. But so basically with the 2022, even though I lost a foot out of the bed, I had I could fold the seats down over here, and I had storage space in the back. So now they put the dumb battery in there, so now I lost that storage space. So I can't put my tools, can't put tools underneath the seat. And if I'm going to put stuff back here, now I got to actually put it on top of the cushions, which is going to, you know, is going to tear them up because I can't, because the other one I would fold them down and now I had a hard plastic surface to put stuff on, right? So that sucks. Okay. They took out, you know, they removed a valuable tool storage area and other stuff storage area, right? And they put in a battery. Okay. Now I do need the seats back here because I got 3 kids, so that's why I went from, like, my 2012 was a single cab. So, yeah, so I needed the seats in the back, but my kids like most of the time they're not riding in the back, okay? So that's when I put other stuff in the back. So I need the storage space, I need the seats that fold down. That was actually useful, okay? This is not very useful here. The battery doesn't help me. I don't know who the battery is helping. I don't know if it's helping Obama or Biden or Kamala, but it's not helping me, okay? Let's start this up just so you can see the engine run a little bit. Now this has that, you know, I really prefer keys. I don't like the less electronics they put in these trucks, the better. So I got to step on the brake, Okay, get this thing started. You guys can look at the engine running. So there it is. I mean, I don't know if you can tell anything useful, but yeah, I got no idea what this shit is over here, man. Anybody wants to chime in and tell me what this thing is over here? You know, just put like a timestamp and you could tell us what this is over here. I don't know what the hell's under here. That might, I don't know, might be a fuse box. I don't know. There's one on the other side over here. I don't know what the shit the hell that is. I don't know what that is. I just don't know. I don't know what any of this shit is in this truck. Let me pause this and go inside. All right, well, so we're in the truck now. I had to shut off the engine, and we're gonna start it up. So basically, you've got to push on the brake, hit this button over here. All right, and I'm glad we're in the car because my hands are freezing. It's like freaking 12. It's actually 15 degrees now. It warmed up from 12 degrees to 15 degrees. We should see the temperature someplace over there in a minute because it does show you the temperature over there. So let me tell you guys about my driving experience with this. So first of all, let's talk about the power. Okay, so it actually has a smaller engine compared to my 2022. Okay, so what they did is they put a smaller 4-cylinder engine in this, right? And they made up for that by giving this thing a turbo. Okay, so here's the thing. It doesn't make sense to me. It's like normally with a turbo, what you do is you take your standard engine, right, and you make it more powerful by adding a turbo to it. Okay, the turbo basically just compresses the air. So here, instead of doing that, what they did is they put a smaller, weaker engine into it, right? And then they say, okay, we'll make up for that weakness with a turbo. So that's, and again, that's why the tow capacity is still only 6,500 pounds. Okay, so it's a pickup truck. All right, I'm buying this so I can pull shit with it. Okay, so yeah, very disappointing. I mean, it would have been nice if they like most people can drive up, you know, can pull a 10,000 pound trailer on their standard driver's license. So it would be nice if they just got it up there to a standard tow capacity of 10,000 pounds. Okay. Now when you're driving, so here's the thing: if you're stopped, basically it seems like you'll see the RPMs dropped and it'll go into like battery mode. So unlike and I've always found this annoying with some cars where the engine actually shuts off, and then when you push the gas, the engine turns back on. What will happen with this? Let me see if it'll happen now. I'll put it in drive. All right. So what will happen is the engine will actually shut off, right? But then if you push the gas pedal, you can actually roll forward just on the battery. So I think that was designed for like city driving, where you're kind of doing like stop and go traffic in a city, right? Again, it's a pickup truck. It doesn't belong in a city. It belongs in the country, okay? So again, they're putting stuff in here intended for the wrong people. So that's what this thing is designed for. So if you're in stop and go traffic, the engine stays off and you're basically just creeping forward on the battery, okay? The battery is not going, it's not going into battery only mode right now, probably because it's so cold and the battery's probably like lost some power, having reverse mode here. So you got the backup camera here. So there are ways to set this up, because initially the way the backup camera was, it was like it had like a super wide view, which was like making me dizzy. But you can, I was able to set this up the way I wanted it, so it was a little bit more practical. Let's talk about this display. This thing is gigantic. I wish they had a way to like just push a button and just turn this thing off, right? Like if I don't want to see, like sometimes I just don't want to see shit there, okay? So I wish there was a way to just turn this off. On my 2022, the display is a little bit smaller. It's a little bit further down. So it's not as, it's, you know, like if I don't want to see it, I'm not going to see it, right? I actually have to look down for it. This thing, they have it further up. And, you know, there's times where I just don't want to see stuff there. I don't want to see maps, you know, and somebody told me that there's a way to shut it off, but it's not like an easy button where you just turn it off and it goes off, and hit the button again and goes back on. Okay, so that would make a lot more sense. The thing that's annoying with this is that, like, when I hook, so here's the thing, I don't listen to the radio, okay? I usually stream stuff online. I listen to videos while I'm driving. This shirt right here is where I put my phone, okay? And it would be, if they want to do something that would actually be convenient, like, have this show what my phone does. Now, it will, but it won't, like, show YouTube, right? So what that means is that in order to like, instead of coming up here and clicking on the videos that I want, I actually have to come down here and look down here and click on the videos that I want. Okay, so I don't know what they were trying to do, if they're trying to make it like extra safe by like not allowing you to click on videos up here. Well, now all they're doing is making me go all the way down here and click videos down here. So I don't think they've actually succeeded in keeping me off the phone. Okay. Because a lot of times I might just be sitting in traffic or something, and I want to, I might want to click the videos over here. So they don't get to decide, what's going to be safe for me. I decide what's safe and when I can, hit buttons and when I can't. Okay, so that's annoying. They're forcing me to go down here instead of, if you're gonna put this shit up here, might as well allow me to click on my videos up there. Okay, and allow me the ability to just turn this thing off, so it won't show me anything at the touch of a button. That would actually be useful. Okay. Hey everyone, I wanted to mention one more thing that I find super annoying. Okay, so most of the time I'm streaming videos off of my phone, right? I'm listening to them while I'm driving, and a lot of times I want to adjust the volume. And what happens is every time I go to adjust the volume, right, because the sound is coming through the truck's speakers, every time I adjust the volume, it pauses my video. So now I gotta go back to my phone to hit the play button, and that is super annoying. I should be able to adjust the volume up and down, as frequently as I want without pausing the videos that are playing on my phone. I mean, the climate control here, I mean, I prefer the old levers and switches type of thing. Fine, this is what they're doing now, this is what they're doing. Really, there's not that much to say about this. That's pretty standard nowadays. Let's talk about the cruise control for a second. Actually, because the cruise control is something that I actually use on the highway, right? Because a lot of times I'm driving for like an hour or 2 hours, and I don't want to have my leg in that same position. So so basically I'll put it on cruise control, and I can basically stretch my leg, So this also has, if you click on the lane, basically it's able to identify the lanes. It actually steers too. Okay, you can override it by steering a little bit harder past it. But this is actually self-steering. It follows the lines in the road. Okay, so that was interesting. Except that if it self-steers, but at the same time you have to resist it. You have to, every once in a while you have to do this, otherwise it will start beeping at you. Okay, and the beeping is annoying. Okay. So yeah, I hate this thing beeping at me. So hold on, let's put my glasses on. We'll take this out for a short drive. I'm in a pretty rural area, so we'll be able to drive this. And I want to show you the most annoying thing, right? Because I'm not going to put my seatbelt on, because a lot of times I'm at a different property where I'm driving around like a field or something, right? And I'm in and out of the truck, and I don't want to put my seatbelt on, okay? And, usually with the seatbelt beepers, it'll start beeping for a little bit, and then it'll stop beeping. So this one over here, it starts beeping, and then it goes stupid with the beeping, and it won't stop with the beeping. So picture yourself, again, it's a pickup truck. I want to work with this thing. I'm in the field, I'm in a farm, I want to be able to go in and out of the truck, when we're going at 30 miles an hour, which is, it's a pretty typical speed to be driving across the field, and it won't stop doing that at me. It thinks that it knows better than I do. So that is super annoying. There he goes. I'm going to let you guys listen to this beeping for a while so you can hear how annoying it is. And ask yourselves, is this what you want to work with? There it goes. It won't stop. It's just going to keep beeping. It will keep beeping. And remember, you're in and out of the truck doing stuff. There it goes. Yep. It wants you to do what it wants you to do. So the question now, we'll go back to that old question I asked. Who was this truck built for? Was it built for working guys? Or was it built for Obama, Kamala, and Biden? All right, was it built for them? Who's getting that extra $30,000? Who's benefiting from that extra $30,000 that they're charging for this? Because it's not me. Okay. So I'll leave you guys with that to think about. Enjoy the beeping while we're at it. Hey, I want to cut in here with one really important point that's really getting under my skin with this truck. You know, for anybody that tows, okay, especially like near the capacity, right, the 6,500 pound towing capacity, you really need to keep track of your transmission temperature to make sure it doesn't go above 220 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so the gauges that they have in this truck, they don't give you they don't give you that information, right? They give you these bars, right, but they don't tell you like the actual degrees, because there's a difference between 190 degrees, 195 degrees, 200 degrees, to somebody that tows. Okay, like I need to know if I'm at 215 or 220, or if I've gone up to 225. Okay, so I know to back off a little bit and let the engine cool down a little bit. So this is important information, right? And what they forced me to do in my 2020 is I keep a scan gauge up here that gives me that information. Okay, so they got this big display over here, right? And they could put like a diagnostic summary that's giving me all sorts of details about what this truck is doing, particularly when I'm towing, because the sensors are already in the truck. Like it knows the temperature of everything. Okay, it knows the pressure of everything that's under pressure. So that would actually be useful, because I don't always need to see a map, especially if I'm driving around an area that I'm familiar with. Okay, I want to, like, the default settings for a pickup truck, right? That a work truck should be, engine diagnostics, like the transmission temperature, water temperature, etc. Okay, so that would be something that would be useful. Okay, and yeah, that's one of the things that, like, it annoys me about my 2022 truck, and I had to get a scan gauge to try and give me some of that information. And it's annoying that they got like these bars over here that, again, they don't give me accurate enough information. Hey, I want to add two more points. Number one, this section over here, right, over the wheels is hollow. Okay, so this would have been a good place to put those batteries, that gigantic battery, instead of under the seat here, taking away from my tool storage space. Okay, so I don't care if they could have put the batteries in here. I don't even care if they put it on top of the cab. I just don't give a shit. But I don't like that they took away the storage space. The other thing I wanted to mention is, what's the future of this iForce Max design, this Tacoma? Here's the thing. Why did they even do this? The reason why they did it is because of Biden and Kamala and Democrats, right? So they're out of power. The EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, they're gonna get declawed. They're gonna get defanged. Okay, so what's gonna happen is that those regulations are going to be reversed. So what I think Toyota's gonna do is they're gonna go back to much simpler engine designs that give value, that give economy, and that actually give performance. So what I think is going to happen is they're going to stop, like in 2025, maybe 2026, they're going to stop making these. So what's going to happen is the people that buy these are going to kind of like get stuck, because they're only going to have maybe 1 or maybe 2 years of this run, right? Who's going to know how to fix these things when they break? Okay, even if you go back to Toyota, the mechanics there, they're not going to have that much experience fixing these things. So if you buy this, I think you're buying something that, when it breaks, it's going to be very expensive to fix. And even when you're paying for it to get fixed, it might not be getting fixed right. Okay, so I definitely do not recommend this. Okay, what Toyota should have been doing is they should have been pushing back against the EPA, because these are unelected bureaucrats. Okay, they should have taken them to court. Delayed the implementation of these regulations that the EPA has been pushing, just like we've done in the gun community, right? The ATF, they tried to ban pistol braces. They tried to, they tried to do a whole bunch of things to gun owners. We took them to court and we delayed them until Biden was out of power. Okay, so that's what Toyota should have done. They should have taken the EPA to court and delayed this, rather than invest all this money into developing this technology. That, like, there might be a place for it, like 10, 20 years down the road, but not now. Again, and why? Because it doesn't give value, it doesn't give performance, and it's just it's unreliable, just because it's so new and untested. So they're my thoughts on that.